friends, today we are going to discuss the assembly procedure of axially split horizontal pump. Horizontally split, it is also called axially split centrifugal pump. Normally this type of pump are commonly used in boiler feed water pump, process pump, cooling tower pumps, with big pumps. They are using this type of pump, and this is the cross-section drawing of axially split pump. It is the parting plane. This is the top casing. This is the bottom casing. This is the impeller. This is the rotor. This is the rotor sleeves. This is the bearing. This is the bearing. That is the inner bearing housing cover. This one is the inner bearing housing cover. This one is the bearing, slip bearing. You can say this is slip bearing. This one is the slip bearing, and outer bearing housing cover. This one is the outer bearing housing cover, and this is the base plate, lower casing. This one is the lower casing. This one is the base plate. This is the shaft. This is the shaft sleeve. So these are the parts. So we have to assemble these parts, and then how to do the assembly, that we'll discuss in detail. Pre-assembly check means you have to verify the GA drawing. Along with the GA drawing is cross section, bill of material, whether it is bill of material is same or not. Ensure all parts are clean, rust free, bar free. Dimensional check means shaft journal diameter, seal areas, etc. Dimension are as per drawings. Check foundation level and base plate flatness. Base plate should be flat, and foundation levels also we have to check. And then how do you check? Now with dial gauge, filler gauge, torque range. These are the material, V blocks, roller bearing, heaters, etc. should be available with us to do all these checks. Then when we place the top bearing housing, the casing on the base plate, we have to check the level of the bottom casing. The level of the bottom gauge to be checked with the master level gauge, with this master speed level gauge, and the speed level to be placed, it is axially as well as the transverse way, and its reading should be how much, both axial, longitudinal and transverse. It should be less than 0.05 millimeter per meter. If it is total length is 1 meter, then the slope maximum acceptable is 0.05 millimeter. Then we have to put we have to ensure the dowel pin in place, in position, etc. Next is we have to check the rotor shaft trueness. Trueness check. Place the shaft, you see, in between two V blocks, and put the dial gauge on the shaft. Rotate the shaft and check the trueness, and its trueness should be less than 0.02 to 0.04 millimeter. Total indicated reading. Acceptable trueness is 0.05 millimeter per meter. Measure the run out. Maximum it should be 0.1 millimeter, and no scoring in the journal portion. No taper. Surface finish should be how much? Less than 0.8 micron. This is the procedure. We have to check the rotor trueness. Then mount impeller assembly. Mount the impeller on the shaft as per drawing. Key to be fitted when putting the impeller in. Key should be in position. Correctly oriented means your impeller suction line should be in the same direction as per the drawing. Suction side should be in that per drawing. Check impeller run out. You can place the dial gauge on the impeller run out at vane as well as the half portion, and see whether the impeller run out is there or not. Then tighten the impeller lug nut when it is placed in position with torque wrench, and if there is a split pin is there, lock washer is there, it is properly locked. Then wiring ring, you have to put the wiring ring also in position, or the casing and or impeller. And in C, the if it is OEM specified some value, we have to, this should be checked as per the OEM. I have told you, I am remind you very carefully, when OEM values are available, you should follow that value. Otherwise, the standard value is typically that is 0.02 to 0.5 millimeter per site, per millimeter per millimeter. OEM typically, that is how much the clearance diametrical, that is per site, it will be 0.25 to 0.5 millimeter. Radial clearances should be there. Ensure clearance should be uniform, all the sites. If it is means bearing, when put the impeller in position, wiring between the wiring ring, these clearances should be available all the site. Then how to put the bearing? Put the bearing. First you have to, if it is a interference fit, then you have to heat it up to 80 to 90 degrees centigrade, put the drive and bearing. Then mount the bearing, bearing labyrinth, oil seal, etc. Fit bearing labyrinth or oil seal. Non-driven bearing, if it is you have to check the bearing axial float as per the values or not, and then axial moment should of the rotor's axial moment should be free. Place the rotor bottom casing on bottom casing. Carefully lower the complete rotor assembly in the bottom casing. Ensure impeller should be in the diffuser middle. Impeller should be sit in the diffuser middle position, and no metal to metal contact. There should not have any metal to metal contact. Bearing housing on casing. Bearing should be in housing. Bearing housing on casing, and bearing housing bolt. Then we have to tie the bearing housing bolt. The axial float, after the bearing housing tighten, you have to see the axial float of the rotor by push and pull, and it should be, you have to always follow the check the OEM value. If the ABN value is not given, then 0.2 to 0.5 millimeter. Millimeter. When you push it one side and then pull it, that reading should be 0.2 to 0.5 millimeter. And rotate the shaft by hand. It should be free, and it should be smooth and free, no tight. Then you have to put the bearing or mechanical seal or packing. But before putting the mechanical seal and packing in position, you have to see the seal chamber and the slip shaft slip run out. Put the dial gauge from the slip housing to the rotor and shaft, rotate it and see it should be within the 0.05 millimeter. Similarly, face also from the rotor slip to the face of the mechanical seal housing, it should be in between, should be as per OEM, or should be 0.05 millimeter. Now put the upper casing, then see the your face is clean, parting plane face is clean. Have jointing compound, thin jointing compound you have to apply. Lower the top half casing, on the bottom casing. Then avoid disturbing rotor. Insert casing bolt. Insert the casing bolt. They should freely go, and tighten the cross pattern, means crosswise, and then finally torque as per specified value, and ensure the casing dowel pin to be seated properly. And final bearing and rotor checks, shaft and float checking of the bearing clearances. Rotate rotor, no rubbing sound should be there. Then you have to put the oil or grease as per specifications. If it is grease, you put the grease. If it is not grease oil, you have to pour the oil. Then you have to do the coupling alignment between rotor and between drive motor and the pump half casing, and the reading should be parallel and less than 0.05 millimeter, and angular also it should be 0.05 millimeter or 100 millimeter. run out. Parallel level should be 0.05, less than 0.05, and angular should be always to be as per the diameter of the half. If it is 100 millimeter half, then it should be less than 0.05 millimeter. Then all the bolt to be tightened, and bearing oil level to be checked. Hand rotate the direction, and direction to be checked, and then start them, and then the bearing clearances, float value, etc. You have to record for your future references. Bearing clearances, float, how much float is there, how much axial loading is there, and then you can start the pump with proper priming and as per procedure. Friends, I think I have cleared all your doubts. If you go through the slides, you will certainly be able to assemble a horizontally split pump or axially split pump. Procedure I have narrate you one by one, and they may ask question in the interview board, what should be the level value, 0.05 millimeter per meter, what should be the axial misalignment value, all these value, what should be the your wiring ring clearances, etc. What should be the run out of the rotor on its sleeves, etc. So if you go through this slides carefully, you will certainly get the reply, certainly get the answer. And if you still have any doubt, you can question, you can ask me in my mobile number, or send a mail to my mobile mail ID. I will certainly